Shabbos from our holy land. See a beautiful buffet breakfast. Now, before we eat, we need to make a blessing. Everyone knows we make a blessing before we eat bread. Maitzi lachem min haaretz, the one who brings forth bread from the ground, from the earth. Before we eat fruits and vegetables, the one who creates the fruit of the ground or the fruit of the tree, and so on. The Talmud tells us that anyone who partakes of things of this world, has pleasure in food, without making a blessing, it's as if he is taken something from the possession of something that's holy. In other words, there's a holiness to everything in the world, and when we eat it without making a blessing, we are not meant to, and so therefore it's called me'ilah. We have actually encroached on holy food that is not ours. So I always wondered about this Talmud, and my question was, so what's the mechanism? So we make a blessing, it's no longer holy? That seems strange. We're not allowed to participate in holy food. We make a blessing, and now we are allowed to participate. Why? How does it work? It becomes unholy? That seems strange. The blessing makes it unholy. So there's a beautiful insight the Rebbe gives. It says like this: there are things called sanctified foods, like sacrifices, that only a Kohen is allowed to eat. What's called truma, that from the produce of one's fields, a ordinary Israelite gave a portion to a Kohen, and that had a sanctity that only the Kohen is allowed to eat it. But not only the Kohen's allowed to eat it, his wife's allowed to eat it, and that which belongs to him is allowed to eat it. So in other words, if the Kohen had a servant, he would be allowed to eat it too. So here you have a fascinating distinction. And Moshe Rabbeinu, the greatest rabbis, cannot eat these holy foods. Only a Kohen. But the Kohen's servant is allowed to eat it. Why? Because he himself belongs to the Kohen. Similarly, this is the way it works. When we make a blessing, we are saying, "Blessed you God, King of the universe." So we are saying that He is our King. We make ourselves God's servants. When we make ourselves God's servants, then we're allowed to eat the food because we become God's. Not that the food becomes unholy. The food remains holy. We also become holy by making the blessing. We say we belong to you, and therefore we can participate in your world and your food. Good Shabbos.